This is the IndieGamesPodcast, and my name is Tommy Refenes.
My name is Edmund McMillen, and I agree that this is that podcast.
Nice. Hello, I'm Mike Rose, and Tim W. is here as well.
Hello.
And we have the guys from Team Meat on for the second time. This is the first time we've had a podcast with people for a second time. Because we had you guys on before, what was it? It must have been like October, just before Super Meat Boy came out. And
right around that.
And when we're doing,
God. Yeah, that would have been. I want to listen to that podcast again because it might have been one of the really bad times.
yeah, it was quite tense.
Sweet.
Um,
Things have eased up a bit.
Yeah. So we thought we'd get you back on and do some kind of follow-up. But first, before we do that, we should quickly just ask you, Edmund, about your new game, Binding of Isaac.
Yeah.
So for anybody who has not caught this yet, can you do kind of like a brief outline of what to expect with this game?
Well, it seems like whatever I say, there's like super nerds that pop out and try to say that it's not a roguelike.
Yeah, I've heard
It's
that.
that's like the new cool thing to do is argue about the semantics of what roguelike means. It's a roguelike shooter using the dungeon structure of Zelda. And you play as a little boy who is in a basement and his mom's trying to kill him. And he fights her off with his tears.
Nice.
So that's basically it.
Sweet.
I'd like to know, who's working on it? Like your current team members.
Florian Himsel is programming it.
Mm-hmm.
And he programmed Triachnid and Coil and Cunt and Twin Hobo Rocket. And I haven't worked with him in a while. And Danny is doing the music, and Jordan is doing the sound effects.
Okay. How are you because you've said it's slightly biblical, with like Isaac being son of Abraham, etc. So how exactly are you pulling off like dark and grim, but like funny at the same time?
I don't know. But that's the thing. I think on paper, even Super Meat Boy seemed extremely dark and grim. So I do believe that it might come off much grimmer and less humorous when I say, "Oh yeah, I've been inspired by these tales of satanic ritual abuse and making this funny game." doesn't seem as funny until you see it and play it, and who knows? I'm like, when I say I'm inspired by whatever, it's not going to literally translate to that. I don't think to everybody. If I never told anybody that I was inspired by 80s mass hysteria with satanic ritual abuse and Christian craziness, D&D stuff and all that sort of stuff too, I don't think anybody would really pick up that much on it, and they would just assume that it was a game about an abused kid in the basement who fights his mom off. So I don't know. I'm saving a lot of the actual story chunks, like the intro and some of the endings. I'm saving them all till the end because part of the fun of making a game is having it really open and letting it make itself. I have an idea of the feel I want and the theme, and the story isn't even completely formed yet. I know basically what I want to do, but that might change by the time it releases and by the time I start working on that stuff. But I know what it's inspired by, and that's still where I'm pulling inspiration and ideas from. But it actually, the whole game's, a lot of the game's imagery and stuff comes from it's fucking retarded. It sounds so incredibly dark. My wife and I downloaded this Christian scare thing. It was called like the Exposing the Satanic Web, and I went through this kick on just downloading weird Christian stuff from the '80s because we used to like find VHS stuff at like flea markets, and there's always this Christian anti-MTV, anti-D&D weird stuff, and it was pretty funny to watch. And one of those was just crazy. And the weird thing is the guy who was hosting it was super deformed. Like his face had been burnt, and he had only had one eye, and he was missing most of his teeth. It was fucked, and I think I'm pretty sure it's called Exposing the Satanic Web. If anybody wants to look that up, but so already it's really fucking creepy, and then it goes through these interviews of these people who are obviously like schizophrenic, who are saying that they their parents sold them to a satanic cult when they were little, where they one of those ladies said that she had to fucking get this dog's dick hard and cut it off.
What the fuck?
That's a thing. A lot of the themes too were like eating shit, tons of dead babies, piles of dead bodies, and just like stuff that didn't actually happen, because like the government, when they heard about all this stuff in the 80s, they looked into it to make sure this shit wasn't, if it was happening, that would be a huge deal, Jeffrey Dahmer type crazy shit. And there was never any proof of any of this stuff ever happening, and all the people turned out to be like schizophrenic, or a lot of like interviews with kids and stuff, it was actually orchestrated by like people who interviewed them, like police and stuff like that. And again, this sounds like, even to me, like talking about this and saying that this is what inspired the game I'm working on sounds insane. But it did. It's people need to keep in mind the stuff didn't actually happen. So I'm not basing anything off of stuff that really happened. This is all fictional stuff. And much like the Bible. So I'm also referencing that because it ties into that whole fucking weird shit. Like, yeah, I mean, if you believe the stories in the Bible, of course you're going to believe that there's this Satanist with superpowers that are like making schools for children so they could sacrifice them. Of course, yeah. And it's all covered up by the police in the local areas because they're also in the
they're all in on it.
They're all in on it. Anyway, but yeah, so a lot of it comes from that. But I don't know how much of that will even translate. But that's where it came from.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Back to the game. Like, how long is a single playthrough of it going to be? And are we supposed to play through it a couple of times?
Yeah. Much like any other roguelike, it has permadeath. So you're gonna every time the goal I think for any kind of roguelike type game, you want it to feel completely different each time you play. So my goal right now is to make it show it's completely different each time people play. So I'm adding as much random happenings, items, enemies, bosses, and other kind of stuff to make it so it's entertaining each time. And usually by level 3, you'll have a character that is distinctly different than the first couple times that you played, and you'll have things that happen that make you play differently. So basically each time you're kind of playing differently. So I think a full playthrough of the game of the first 3 chapters, which is what I have in so far, is I think about 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. It feels a bit long, so I might actually remove some of the levels. Like right now, it's the map structure. I think starts out with 10 rooms for the first level, and then the second level is 15, and then it goes 20, and then 25, and I think it caps out at 30. But we might take that down depending on how. Like, I don't want it to like drag out. It's still gonna it's gonna take a lot of balancing to really. I'm kind of happy with it so far, but it's getting there. I actually beat it for the first time last night, so that shows it's a bit difficult right now. Mm-hmm. But I also give reasons to replay as well. There's 3 unlockable characters and multiple unlockable items that kind of unlock when you hit different, I guess, achievements or goals within the game that are a bit sidetracky. Like if you collect 50 plus coins or pennies. It'll unlock a character, but you wouldn't normally do that in the game because you'd want to be spending your money on upgrades. So that sort of thing too. So yeah, the goal is to make sure that you can play it repeatedly because nobody's going to get through it on their first try because it's it's always like a mystery, and there's a good chance that you're going to be running into completely different guys and completely different weapons and bosses after the first 10 plays. So,
if you were gonna like try and sell this to somebody now, what would you tell them? What would your short kind of description? Why would they want to get this?
I would say not because it's the guy that co-created Meat Boy. So I'm getting sick of hearing that. Because it seems to be all that's being said. Like I don't fucking know. I have no idea. It's weird and it's fun. If you like weird fun stuff, maybe you like it. I don't know I think if you like shooters, like if you like Smash TV and stuff like that, I think you'll dig it either way because I think at its core it's kind of like that. If you like Zelda style combat and the dungeon structure, you might like it. If you like Spelunky, you might really like it because it's pretty close to Spelunky as far as the combination of like action roguelike. If you like Meat Boy, I don't know if you'll like it, but you might like the humor and you might like the art. I mean, you might like it because it's cheap and it will burn some hours away. It's an easy game to like pick up and play for a while and put down again. And it doesn't require like a huge investment during the day, which I think is cool. That's it.
Okay, that's cool. I think that sold it.
Yeah, right now it's just kind of like I don't want anybody to think that this is Team Meat's next game and it's going to be like this grand thing. Like this is a game I at most putting in like 3 months into, and it was just kind of a break from. It was like supposed to be my vacation, and because Tommy took a vacation. Remember that when you took a vacation?
Yeah, I do. It was wonderful.
Where'd you go?
I went to Hawaii.
How'd that go?
Horrible.
Wasn't much of a vacation?
No.
Yeah, that was basically it though. Like Tommy is like, "Hey, I'm going to be taking a vacation for a week to Hawaii," and like,
I wasn't kidding. It really was horrible. That's not a joke. It wasn't. No. It was not fun.
Yeah, when Tommy got back and I asked him how it went, and he told me like, "Oh, there's a guy selling pineapples."
There was a guy that danced in front of the car.
That was the highlight, and that was it. That was the end of his 7-day description of the events that happened.
Not so much that Hawaii is awful. It's just the company I was with was not the best company to be with. I don't think there were some good parts and bad parts, but overall, I did not enjoy Hawaii. So that was my vacation. You ever go on a vacation and come back more stressed out? Because that's what I did.
It's funny because I always assume that any vacation. See, I've got like a fear of like of vacation, of like travel and that sort of stuff too. So like the idea of being in a plane for that amount of time is petrifying, and then the idea of being in a place where I'm like not familiar with is also horrible. So for Tommy to come back and say he didn't have a good time, it validates my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
It was awful.
But yeah, while he was gone, I was like, I never really took a break.
Yeah.
And when he left, like we had basically concluded Meat Boy.
Mm-hmm. We had launched the editor.
We had launched the PC version was fully done. Like basically, I mean, even though we just updated now, but it was finished. All the stuff that we promised was basically out there, and so he was taking his break, and I was going to take a break too. So I decided that my vacation would be a game jam. For a week, a game in a week, and that was it. Like I was supposed to do a game in a week, and when Tommy came back, the game was kind of ballooning a bit, and I just decided, whatever, we'll keep going and see where it goes, and it just got bigger, and I decided to keep going with it, and now it's turned into this monster.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Don't go to Maui.
Don't go to Maui.
Or maybe go, but maybe go alone.
Don't wear pajama pants if you go to Hawaii.
Don't ever wear pajama pants outside of the house. Ever.
Do you want to explain that?
Do you want to explain?
I worry there's some kind of.
There's no way.
No, there is a way. She listened to everything.
I don't think she's listening now.
I don't know, dude.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, if she is, she's already got it.
Well, yeah, I'll put it the nice way. I met a girl right after Meat Boy came out. About 3 months after Meat Boy came out. And she was really nice, but we just sort of parted ways as we were not a compatible match for each other.
What does that have to do with pajama pants?
She didn't like when I wore pajama pants outside, and I never understood it, so I, of course, pushed that. And I would wear pajama pants outside in public, and it never went over well.
You should have told her they were chef's pants.
It's hard to sell that when there's Homer Simpsons all over.
Don't go to Maui with Tommy's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. If you're anything like me, don't go to Maui with my ex-girlfriend.
Like which is worse, like going for a vacation or being an IGF finalist? But
Oh, IGF finalist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's that IGF finalist. I'd probably rather go through like major surgery and have like parts of my body replaced with pieces of other people's bodies.
Like old decaying pieces?
Yeah. I'd rather have a baboon's heart implanted where my asshole is than be an IGF finalist.
That'd be weird to sit down on.
It would be, but it'd be kind of gushy. It'd be like sitting on a bouncy, like an exercise ball.
Yeah.
You're just constantly. I mean, I like it.
Would it pump the shit out?
Yeah.
So it's like rigged up in a way that helps you.
Yeah. It like eases the shit right out. That way, when you have those hard ones that take a little extra effort, and it feels like I always imagined when I would take a hard poop that it was a poop where there were toothpicks sticking out of it. And yeah, so you have a baboon's heart instead of your asshole, and that's what you got.
Okay.
No more hard boots.
That sounds good though. That sounds.
It was worth the $75,000 surgery fee.
I think it's safe to say that we're not entering the IGF anymore for the.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and that's not a slight to the IGF.
No, not at all.
It's just not.
We don't have the mental capacity to do it again.
Yeah, that and the fact that I've been like so guilted by so many different people last year for even entering. I can't even. I don't
Last
think
year, year before.
The year before. Fuck, I'm
Yeah.
living in the past, man. I've overstayed my welcome. I'm not welcome anymore.
No. And because I work with Edmund, I'm
You
also
are also
welcome.
not welcome. That was a funny thing. Enter and people are like, dude, didn't you already win the grand prize like 5 years ago? And then Tommy's just sitting there in the background
I'm
crying.
going, I didn't win shit.
He's waving his hands around.
Right, let's move on to Super Meat Boy then. That game you once worked on.
Oh.
So what have you guys bought with your millions of dollars then?
We didn't see. That's the thing. Like, so Tommy,
I bought a car.
you bought a car. I
Because
bought a
needed
house.
one. Yeah.
But that's. Well, no. See, that's the thing. Like, so Tommy and I, we always said when the game was going to get done, we were going to have a party. It was going to be this big thing, and we never did it.
Yeah.
Much like many other developers that we've talked to that are like, we're going to have a
So
party. And like,
fucking burnt by
yeah,
that
like
time.
2D Boy, they were saying they were going to have a party. Everybody says they're going to have a party, and we said we're going to have a party, and we did not have a party. And then all this shit went down, and 8 months later or whatever, we're still not having a party. So Tommy finally made it out here. So essentially, right now is like us having fun,
Yeah.
and I think we spent $400.
We spent about $400.
$400 on
Actually,
toys.
we're taking back 2 of the airsoft guns, so now we're down to like $375 or
Yeah.
$325.
We bought airsoft AK-47 broken.
Yeah, it broke. I bought a handgun, airsoft handgun. It broke the first time I shot it. Then we bought throwing knives, and those are awesome, but they bend really easy. And then we bought a Ninja Star, and that's the most satisfying thing in the world, is you take and throw a Ninja Star as hard as you can at a dog, and it sticks in the dog. I mean wood, a piece of wood from a store.
The piece of wood was $14.
Yeah. Piece of wood was $14. And we got it cut too big, so we had to cut it off and then leave pieces of it.
Yeah, that's basically it so far.
Yeah.
Okay, big spenders.
What the fuck are you supposed to buy?
Yachts.
Yeah, a yacht.
Multiple yachts.
You know what's better than being alone in an apartment in the middle of a city?
What?
Being alone on a yacht in the middle of the ocean.
Sounds great.
That's hilarious. It's a great time.
Set adrift.
Yeah. I'm gonna
At least in the yacht, you have a better chance of dying.
Yeah, you have a much better chance of dying in the yacht.
And then it's all over.
Yeah, it's all.
You don't have to fucking worry about being lonely anymore because you'll be with God.
Yeah, He's there. Do you guys know about God?
Heard about him.
Apparently, He's everywhere.
Yeah.
He watches you make.
Hmm.
Oh, I bought an artificial pancreas.
Oh yeah, you got that. He's a robot now.
Yeah, I'm technically I'm a cyborg.
Oh, cool.
I bought medical insurance.
Hey, there
guys.
you go.
How's that?
How's
that for something to say?
On a par with pancreas. Yeah, it's pretty good.
That was that beat just now. That was my
Pancreas.
artificial pancreas saying your sugar's high. But I have enough insulin. I think it should be all right. Let me check. Let me check how much insulin I have. I got 2.8 units active. Ooh, I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see if he dies or not.
We'll see if
We'll see if he survives this podcast.
I'm probably gonna die.
Are you guys still working on the Mac version of Super Meat Boy?
Yes, in quotations. There is a Mac version coming.
Okay.
Whether I'm working on it or not is irrelevant because I don't think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to get somebody else to do it, so I don't have to do it because I don't want to do it.
Yeah, we have 2 versions,
Yeah.
and it'd be more efficient for us at this point. Actually, it was John that said you're an idiot.
Yeah.
He said, why are you killing yourself again?
Yeah. Why
working
would
on
I
this
do
port
that?
when you can hire somebody to do it.
Yeah.
This is John
game.
Blow. I'm
Yeah.
name dropping.
Yeah.
I'm name
Yeah.
dropping
You
this.
guys might know him. Jonathan L. Blow. His middle name?
His middle name is long.
Jonathan Longblow. But next game, I plan on building everything simultaneously because launching a game and then having a month later to launch it again and then having to launch it again and again is maybe worse than being an IGF finalist. Maybe. But the Meat Boy, we're going to get somebody to do that.
Considering like the difference that there was in terms of like reception and sales, etc., on both Steam and Xbox Live, do you think you guys would make another Xbox game in the future?
I don't think we'll work with them ever again. And I guess like it kind of sucks too because like we're still on really good terms with our producer, who is really awesome, who also happens to be the producer of every other good game on the fucking system.
Like everything.
And
every notable game,
Yeah.
he's been the producer on.
He was really awesome, and I felt like he was the only person there that really believed in us.
He felt like a friend.
Yeah, he felt like a friend.
He still feels like a friend.
Yeah, and we still talk and everything else. And I know it's painful for him because like I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we've not had one sale since our initial sale.
Yeah, since our initial
launch sale.
Yeah, our launch sale.
And I don't know if that's going to happen. We're closing in on, in October, end of October, we've got our 1-year anniversary, and it would be nice to get a sale, at least a sale.
Yeah.
For our anniversary, but like whenever we ask, and we actively ask monthly,
Mm-hmm.
if we can be included in a sale or get any kind of promotion, of course they say
Deal
no.
of the week,
Which is odd though, because it's like I understand. Like I know for a fact, and I've heard this from many different people that have told me this, that we, by openly talking about our relationship with Microsoft and the business side of Microsoft and the negatives that came along with that. They've actually, I believe, changed a lot of stuff. And I've heard from different developers that they have openly talked to them and said, we want to change our image and we don't want anybody to, we want everybody to be happy. So I'm very happy that we talked about it because I feel like we actually somehow did something. Yeah. But I guess, they could probably still be a bit put off by it. But it seems so strange, too, because if they give us a sale, then they're actually they're kind of, trying to fix the problem. I always assumed that they would at least give us sales because in every interview with any Microsoft rep that have talked about it, they always they never deny it because they can't, because it's true. Everything we said was true. They just said they wish that, they could have, I don't know, been more clear or something along those lines.
Some sort of corporate response.
It's just a basic corporate response. But
The way I figure it is, we have an engine that runs on Xbox. It's all TCR compliant and all that stuff. But I feel the only way we'll work with Microsoft if it's more on our terms, which I don't feel that they'll ever want to agree with. Meaning, like, no exclusivity term, nothing that's going to make more work for us to put the game out on their system.
Yeah.
And that's more of the reason why I don't think we'll work with them. I mean, if they want to do all that stuff, then yeah, we'll definitely consider it, because then we get to work with our producer again.
Yeah.
And he was great, and we'd go into it knowing, all right, take all of this stuff that they say to you with a grain of salt.
Yeah, we'd also know how to work a contract too.
Yeah.
Like, we went in knowing, like, a lot of the mistake and what a lot of the postmortem, I think, should really read as, like, we're putting all this stuff out there because make sure you get all this stuff in the contract. Like,
get everything in writing.
The game feast wasn't even close to when we signed a contract, and we never asked for any revisions when it was happening. So all the stuff that was promised to us verbally never was on paper. It's not like we could ever really make we still made a stink, but we couldn't legally make a stink about it because this was all just verbal stuff, and they could just say we didn't understand, or
we took them at their word. And the thing about business and stuff is, there's all very good intentions when somebody gives you a word and says, hey, you're going to be in this promotion, but all sorts of factors can change between them starting a promotion and actually doing one and following through with it. And it's just good intentions, but nice setup, not a great follow through.
It definitely does suck though, because our producer was really cool. And I would love to work with him again.
I mean, not even just our producer. I mean, most everyone we talked to.
Yeah,
everybody we had direct contact with was great to work with, and they supported the game, and they absolutely loved it, and they loved what we were doing. Yeah, we got in trouble a couple times with the. We found a loophole in Microsoft, but I mean, we didn't even say that. So.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah, whatever.
it was a real little roller coaster ride with Microsoft, and definitely had highs and lows, and it's hard not to.
One time I threw my phone at the wall.
One time I screamed into the phone, and then I thought, oh my god, how the fuck am I going to call you and explain what just happened?
I know, I remember that.
Oh my god, that was a fucking horrible day. Yeah. I don't know, like, I feel like I actually think that Indie Game the movie was there through most of that.
Yeah, they were.
So you guys will see that. Like, you'll see all this fucking horror. That's the thing, too. Like, and I'm sure maybe one of the questions you ask is about this. I might be jumping ahead. But in the trailer, there are parts like when I say I feel like I'm in a concentration camp, and when Tommy's saying, what the fuck is this? Yeah. Like, what I was talking about was dealing with Microsoft. Yeah. Like, I wasn't talking about making video games. Yeah. Like, I was talking specifically about, like, this thing that we're locked into that we have to finish with Microsoft, and I feel like I'm being tortured daily. Yeah. Like, I feel like I'm stuck. Like, I felt so fucking stuck, and it was horrible. And then when Tommy's saying, what the fuck is this, is when he's scrolling through the fucking...
It's just scrolling through the dash launch day.
When our game's not there. Yeah. Maybe a regime change, I don't know. Like, shit changes so much at Microsoft. Like,
oh yeah, dude, I forgot to tell you. Our Sony lady left.
Oh, really?
She's been promoted. New person now.
Huh.
Yeah, so whatever.
Yeah, there's like a high turnover rate. Like, while we were there, we had two or three different people that we were originally talking to, like I don't know what they call the money people.
Yeah, the business side.
Yeah, and like I heard
like crazy.
It's like when we initially went in and they were saying no, essentially, because they thought the game looked like a Flash game and whatever else. It was this guy had just come into power or whatever there, and he was the high up, and he was going to change the way people, kind of viewed. Like, everybody who comes in and takes over has their little campaign that they're going for, and it's like a lot of things like 3D games are in, 2D games are out, like that sort of thing. And
it honestly seems like they go in with this little project so they get noticed by higher ups, so they get promoted. So their project, they may get the time to actually finish it to completion, or they may get promoted before they finish it, and then that's when shit gets dropped in the middle of stuff, and that's when stuff gets kind of messed up.
Yeah, it does seem like every 5 years, though, like, Microsoft has this new idea of what the Xbox Live, the experience is, and they kind of change what goes in. Yeah. So, there's a good chance that shit'll change and maybe people will actually contact us and say, hey, all those people are gone. Why don't you come back and check it out? And then we'll be like, non-exclusive, and they'll be like, fuck you.
Yeah, and then I'll be like, well, fuck you instead, bro. And then I'll get stabbed.
Yeah, but I mean, ideally, that's the thing. Like, when we went into the Microsoft thing, we had no power. We had no say in anything, and we got the best deal we could possibly get, which was essentially the possibility of doing Wii, PC, and an Xbox launch, and the Xbox launch was like a month exclusive and had exclusive content. And that was like that was amazing for us. That was like insane. Like if you look like Limbo couldn't release for like a year.
Yeah, at least 1 year.
Yeah, and like we got it down to a month, so it's like it was pretty crazy for us to be able to do that. And next time though, we would really like to be able to have complete option to launch on anything. And who knows? By the time we get another game out, there's going to be new systems. So.
Yeah.
Probably. It'd be nice to keep our options open. And with Microsoft, it's usually like us or nobody else.
Yeah, they kind of like to push that, which is not... It's great if you're in Summer of Arcade, but otherwise I wouldn't recommend it.
Not stating any numbers directly, what's the ratio of Super Meat Boy PC version sales compared to the XBLA version?
What's the ratio?
Yeah, the ratio.
It is... I think I can safely say... Well, not really counting piracy, I think it's safe to say it's double on PC.
And that's over like not just Steam?
No, just Steam.
Oh, just Steam.
Honestly, Steam's the only one that really...
Yeah, everything else is really...
We just had a thing that came out that said we only sold 12 copies on Direct to Drive. That's not true. But they in no way compare to what Steam is. Steam is a fucking powerhouse.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, yeah, about that whole thing, did like Direct to Drive kind of pick you up on it or anything, or were they cool about it?
It's weird because Direct to Drive just got bought out by a new company, so it's like all these different people are contacting us and like people. It's confusing. It's actually pretty confusing now. I get emails and I don't know
who the fuck
this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what information they have, what information they need, what's going on, what's what. Like we actually got like a physical check from IGN because now it's not IGN anymore. It's somebody else, and now we're trying to cash this check and can't. But eventually we'll cash that check, I guess.
We'll cash that check.
Yeah, no, it's not. So far, other portals aren't really.
No, they're.
I don't know about overseas portals. Like, I don't know how we're doing in Germany, like, digital wise, and I have no fucking clue.
Yeah. Whatever.
So of the launch of the game, obviously it was stressful just before it, but then around like after the launch, were there any like kind of key best and worst moments, like highs and lows of the weeks afterwards?
Yeah, they were crazy. I remember.
I don't remember lows though.
I don't really remember too many lows. I remember there was a low when the game came out, and there was a save bug, because that made me sort of lose my mind, because I'm like, fuck, I just, and then there was a low when it came out for PC, and I had to like bust my ass for a week to fix it, because I thought my little range of like 6 test machines were a good like spectrum, but it wasn't. But those were like the only like 2 lows. I mean, the crazy high was PETA.
Yeah,
that was an awesome.
There were like some magical. There's just so much. There's just so much crazy shit. And I remember thinking like, what was it? I think like the guy that wrote Scott Pilgrim like tweeted that he really loved the game, and that was like right before the PETA thing. Yeah. And I remember thinking to myself like, you can't beat that. And then the PETA thing happened, and that was insane. And like, I don't know, it just kept like ballooning, and like I can't even remember all the cool shit. Like some of the most memorable stuff were like this kid that sent me a skateboard with Meat Boy's face on it, and this was before the game came out. Like what the fuck? It seems so surreal. Or when Giant Bomb posted the writers there like playing,
and they hit the glitch level,
and they watching them play, and then like recording themselves, and then there was like the reviews were just crazy.
Yeah, the Metacritic score was nuts.
Yeah, like seeing Metacritic tweet like that our score was like the highest. I think at one point we were like the highest PC game of the year. And I think we ended up.
Yeah, we were highest. Well, no, not highest Xbox game.
We were the highest Xbox Live game of the year for a while.
Yeah, I think we still were.
I think we're tied with.
Oh no, yeah. Then Pac-Man came out. Pac-Man was like 96.
Yeah. But yeah, all that stuff was just surreal. Like the videos of people playing and like.
And then the Game of the Year nominations and stuff that all came out.
It's just countless stuff. Like there's amazing. It's really hard to like, and I know I'm forgetting stuff like cosplay. People sending like cosplay pictures. Everything
people
about
having
it was
tattoos.
Oh yeah, the tattoos.
Yeah.
People got like crazy hardcore tattoos with Meat Boy and
not
and
like
Dr.
little
Fetus.
temporary bullshit. You go to Carowinds to get one. Like real. This is on your body for the rest of your life. Which I don't know if I can totally condone. But I'll allow it for sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's people with tattoos of Link and stuff like that. So
yeah, like that guy in Spencer's.
Yeah. Yeah.
GDC, seeing people walking around with Meat Boy shirts. That was fucking crazy.
That was nuts. Yeah, there were a lot of people.
When the day that Dan Paladin sent me this picture, where he was doing the Tokyo Game Show, and it was a picture of some kid in Japan wearing a Meat Boy shirt.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Who the fuck are you?
It was pretty fucking crazy, and it was when the team of the Japanese they all had Meat Boy T-shirts and they had a Meat Boy party.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they had a meat party.
Yeah, there was a team of people who had a meat party in Japan, and they all had Meat Boy shirts on, and they were cooking meat or like eating crazy like strips of beef. I don't know what they have over there, but they've got some crazy like grill up your own bacon looking shit. I don't know.
Yeah,
that was fucking crazy. I mean, I could go on for fucking days.
Yeah, there's so many like just surreal, awesome shit. Had a surreal moment yesterday.
Oh yeah.
This is the first time I had played the Meat Boy because I don't have Rock Band, so it was the first time I played the Meat Boy tracks on Rock Band, and it was weird, like playing music from a game that I created in a house that was created by the game.
Yeah.
It was just like all around sort of just amazing, surreal kind of shit.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
Yeah. It was kind of sat back and sucked that one in for a little second.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wow, this is kind of strange. Oh, there was a surreal moment with my ex.
Yeah.
Where when I met her, she didn't know anything about the game, and she was talking to one of her friends, one of these guys that like helped her out with her like statistics homework or whatever. But he was, she was saying, yeah, I got this, I'm dating this guy. He made this Super Meatball game or whatever. And the guy goes, Super Meat Boy? And she goes, yeah, that's the one. He goes,
yeah, she kept calling it Super Meatball.
Yeah. And she's like, oh wow, that's kind of a big deal. I didn't know he was around here. And she's like, yeah, this is him. And then showed pictures and all that stuff. And that was kind of weird because just random people.
Mm.
Oh, and then the fucking Walmart shit. Seeing the game in Walmart.
Oh yeah.
That was.
I never saw the game in stores.
I saw it, and then I got recognized in a Walmart in the middle of butt fucking nowhere.
I got recognized in Sbarro. Okay, I'm in the mall with Danielle, and again, I'm in pajama pants and whatever else.
How dare you?
Yeah, I know. And I'm buying Sbarros, and we're gonna sit down to eat, I think. And this guy is like, it's one of those situations where you think like, who's this creep? Like, there's some weirdo just staring at us. So what the fuck's going on? And like, he's just staring at us, and then like he walks really close, and he goes, "Are you Edmund McMillen?" And then he's like shaking. He's like, his hands are shaking. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I just want to say Meat Boy's awesome. I'm like, awesome. And I was like, I'm thinking like, what the fuck are you, like, why are you scared? Like,
what are you doing?
Like, this is the weirdest fucking shit ever. Like, I don't even know how he recognized me or what. And it was just so weird. Like, it seems bizarre. Like, it's
very strange.
Everything is super surreal and like, even like Tommy's saying, like, there's not a week that goes by where something crazy doesn't happen where you're like, fuck. Like, someone like, or when the guy did the 3D animated.
Oh yeah, he did
all the Meat Boy stuff. Or like just having people link us to like fan art that's just amazing. And
fan sculptures.
Or like when
that.
Dave Raposa did the cover.
Yeah, that was insane.
Like it's countless. Like you can't.
People do the Destructoid did that charity run through of the entire game.
Yeah, that was really fucking cool too.
And I hit on Tara Long.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I wonder if she's listening.
Probably. She stalks me.
Yeah.
All ladies do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And on and on and on.
On and on.
On and on. Awesome. Well, okay. So you said that your next game isn't going to be Meat Boy related, or at least isn't just going to be a Super Meat Boy sequel. So if that's the case, are you going to keep the name Team Meat, or?
Yeah.
We already filled out all the paperwork.
Yeah, we're way too lazy. Far too lazy.
Yeah, we're just going to be Team Meat, like Team Ninja. They made Metroid. There's no ninjas in Metroid.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Did they make Metroid? Metroid Other M?
They did Other M.
Yeah.
They probably don't really want to remember that, though.
Who would?
But that's your new wife, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you met your new wife.
I did. I met her today via an email that was written to Edmund.
Tommy's a
player.
A smooth criminal.
I am pretty smooth.
Yeah,
ladies. LL Cool T.
Yeah, ladies love Cool Tommy.
Cool Tommy.
You know what sounds less cool?
What?
With cool in front of your name.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
After all of the good feedback you received from your fans, are you still saying no to a sequel to Super Meat Boy?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the fans are going to appreciate it so much more. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, it's so uncommon for a game not to have. Okay, here's an idea. Like ICO or ICO or whatever you want to call it. Like, if they made a sequel to that, these people aren't making sequels, even though the games are kind of tied together. Like, Shadow of the Colossus maybe has something to do with the first game, but it's not the same game at all. So that game's like stuck in time permanently. It's always going to be that. And it's never going to be tainted by anything else. And I think both me and Tommy right now, and in the foreseeable future, I don't think we have the skills to top Super Meat Boy and bring anything new to the table at all.
Mm-mm.
Like, in order to make a sequel to Super Meat Boy, we'd have to have shitloads of new mechanics and stuff like that. And like, if you look at Nintendo, like with Zelda, with each sequel is usually a new huge mechanic that changes everything, and it's never, they've got the basic structure. But with Meat Boy, I just, there's nothing there from idea wise. Like, it's tapped out, and I don't want to fuck up what we did. Like, I don't want to taint. What if it's not as good? And I just don't want to go there. So I think we're gonna stay away from that. And also, we really, I think we love the game, but we're a bit sick of
a little bit
Meat
sick
Boy
of it,
stuff
for sure.
There's only so much. Like, maybe 5 years from now, break out Meat Boy and play it again, and really appreciate it again. But right now, it's just like been in our face for so long, and
it's time for something new.
Like, we just stopped kind of working on it, and like Tommy says, like, he's still been working on the Mac version, and at this point, it's like, come on, like, let's just get somebody else to finish this.
This is how, yeah, that's how anti-working on Meat Boy I am right now. I don't like the idea of somebody porting my code, because I've always been the type that if I can do it, I feel I should do it. But I'm so over it that I just don't. I don't want to worry about porting it. I just don't want to do it. I want to do something new. So,
which is what Tommy's doing right now.
Which is like in between, and I'm excited about it, and it's fun. And that's the whole reason kind of got into this, is to not feel like I'm working for a job, but feel like I'm working because I'm having fun.
I feel the need to point out, to give a visual of what I'm going to give a visual of what Tommy looks like right now.
All right.
Okay.
For the ladies.
Tommy's got on a GDC 25 shirt.
This was GDC shirt from this year.
It says speaker on the back. It's black.
I was speaker.
He's wearing his new jeans.
I got jeans.
Most importantly, though, he's wearing a hand brace like fucking Michael Jackson.
Well, it's not like Michael Jackson.
Yes, it is.
It's like
yes,
it's
it
like
is.
Ryu.
It's the same hand.
No, he had a whole glove that was rhinestones, not a wrist support thing.
No, he did. He went through a phase where he wore white.
I gotta see this on Google. Hold on.
No, and he looks just like that, and he's like nonchalantly talking with his fucking hand brace, trying to look cool.
I was in a whack-off contest, and I threw my wrist out. What do you want?
And you won. I'm telling you. How do you not know that? When he was on the fucking car and he's breaking shit with it, right? And then he's touching himself with it.
What?
You didn't? Come on!
I don't remember him doing that.
Where he turned into the fucking cougar on the car.
Yeah, that was awesome.
After
Do you remember
when
Cleveland did that in Family Guy?
No.
That was pretty funny.
that was probably the greatest line I've ever heard. I'm gonna reference Family Guy, but you know.
Oh yeah, I guess he did. He did it. Wow.
Yeah.
It's black. It's white. Is that one on Rock Band?
Yeah, actually, I think it is. Next question.
Next.
Okay, let's talk about things that aren't Super Meat Boy. So, are you guys actually working on something together now, or like have a plan out in your heads or anything?
We know what we're doing.
Yes.
Much like Meat Boy, it's kind of reminiscent of how we started. So like when we decided we're working on Meat Boy, Tommy had to make the engine, and it took about 3 months, I think. About
6 months.
6 months?
Because I did it ground up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So while he did that, I think I was just finishing up Spewer, and I did Time Fuck. And I was also working on this game called No Quarter, which never came out. No? Yeah, no, didn't.
Are you sure it's not on Metacritic?
And I think I was working on something else over there too.
Yeah.
Gish 2.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was. That's the whole reason I was there.
Anyway, so Tommy's got to get an engine ready, and right now he's doing exporter stuff and engine stuff. So while he's doing that, I'm finishing up Isaac, and once he's got, stuff that I can start making art for.
I'm improving what we had and getting it ready for next game. So it won't take 6 months to do that, but it will take a little time. Because you work on something for 18 months nonstop, 7 days a week, like at least 10 hours a day. You get better as you go through it, and then you start to see all the stuff you wrote at the beginning and go, "That's dumb," and you want to change it. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. All the stuff that I wanted to change and improve and rewrite, I'm doing that right now, which will make everything more awesome. And yeah.
And you can say that the graphics in the next game will be incredibly crisp.
Yes, crisp. Crisp like a dewy leaf.
Like a dewy leaf?
In the morning.
But yeah, we know what we want to do. You could say that elements of Isaac are being used to prototype some ideas that I want to do with the next game, design-wise. I've actually learned a great deal. I'm really happy that I jumped into Isaac, but yeah, I've learned a great deal of stuff about random generation, and it's just kind of crazy. I think I've said this many times, but it keeps popping up for me, so I'll say it again. As a designer, I think most designers assume they kind of know it all with a new genre or whatever else because they played shitloads of games in that genre. So they kind of like, oh yeah, I can write this game on paper and it's going to translate perfectly. And that's never the case, even though you always think it is. Like, even with Meat Boy, it's like, oh, it's a fucking platformer. I've made platformers before. Like, I know what I'm doing. And then you get in and you start learning as you go, and you just can't beat learning from experience and making mistakes and just kind of fine-tuning things as you go. And with Isaac, I'd never made anything roguelike-ish, and this was totally new to me, but I felt like I had a very clear understanding of how it worked, and I didn't until I started making it. And now I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of how it works, and I hope that as once this game's finished and the next game pops in, I'll be able to use a lot of those elements in new and exciting ways.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, Isaac is kind of a prototype for some stuff that I want to play around with in the next game.
Okay, cool. So you guys said recently that you were thinking of making a game for the 3DS, or at least you were looking into it. But I guess the 3DS isn't doing so well anymore. Are you still thinking about doing that?
Well, I think we said we were developers and it would be cool
Yeah.
to make a game for it. We haven't had any ideas for the
Yeah.
system. It's like, so it hasn't. Maybe one, but it wasn't ever like the pool.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah. But
yeah, no, nothing ever. We don't have a kit yet. I mean, we plan on buying a kit because we need to write some stuff off.
yeah.
Um,
Also, I like hardware.
yeah, fun stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's funny. It's like the Nintendo stuff has got major. It worries, I think, most developers now after the WiiWare thing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of developers are getting cold feet. But I don't know. I feel like the 3DS just sucks right now because there's nothing for it. You know.
Ocarina of Time is out, but that's it.
Yeah, it's like if you look at their download service though, it's really good. Like they've greatly improved it. It's pretty easy to download stuff, and the only stuff I've been playing has all been downloadable. I've actually broken into like DS games that were up on their download service for the DS, the DSi.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, I've been like
Just 'cause
downloading
it's
stuff
easier
like
to
that
get 'em
because it's
now.
easier to get them now. It's definitely it's easier to get them now, and it's easier to sort them now. Like I didn't know this shit existed until now, and I really like the old classic Game Boy games. It's kind of pitiful that I'm playing Game Boy games on a 3DS, but that's what I'm playing.
I play them on my phone.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't have. I have the PlayStation phone.
Get over yourself.
No, I can't.
You want so badly for people to care.
Yeah, nobody even knows about this fucking thing. It's like the best thing that's ever come out. It's a phone with a joystick. With the gamepad. It's amazing. But everybody's like, what's that? Is that an iPhone? And then I roundhouse them.
I think either way, though, like if we finally do a 3DS game or something like that, I don't think it's ever going to be something that couldn't also be... Like, we're never going to make a game that couldn't also be on PC.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a stupid thing, I think, for most indies to do.
Yeah, you don't want to limit yourself.
Like, imagine if Super Meat Boy was only out on Xbox. I mean, we'd still probably be pretty okay, but...
That would be fine.
But it would have been painful, like, to not have a PC release. We would have just been stuck with that bad taste in our mouth and nothing to, like, wash it down with.
Yeah, it would have been difficult to look back on it and go, that seemed 100% worth it.
Yeah, but I think most developers would agree that if you're doing a console version, at least have a PC version as well, like in the works. I think Gaijin will definitely agree, and many other developers as well. PC is crucial, and PC is very, very alive and kicking at this point, and actually beating out consoles.
Yeah, PC gaming, fucking Steam. Steam, I feel that if there was no Steam, that PC gaming would be a little lacking. Right?
It'd be dead. It'd be dead for sure.
I think it'd be really fucking close to being dead.
That's the thing, like, for us with, like, when we did our retail release, we were like, our publisher was like, yeah, we're going to get it in Best Buy and Kmart and blah, 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 blah. And we ended up getting it in Walmart and, like, Fry's. And then, like, Best Buy and all these other places started coming back with, like, PC games aren't selling anymore, so we're not buying anymore.
Yeah.
And, like, PC games, the retail-wise, is just dead. Like... It's you've literally got like World of Warcraft and StarCraft and Diablo. Like the Diablo expansions are still like that's like all that really sells in any of these places. And you rarely see any like successful retail stuff unless it's like blockbuster size game or super budget, Facebook style, crap games.
Grandma picks up because she thinks that's the game you wanted. But instead of getting Call of Duty, it's like Call of the Wild, and it's like a Steam game.
Yeah.
Where you go on a little adventure and photograph pixelated sprite animals or something.
It's awesome.
And then you just hate your grandmother because of it.
My dad would always buy me the packs of 1001 games.
That's more than. Yeah. That's a lot of games.
You know what? Like majority of those were.
What?
They were Solitaire.
Yeah.
And Breakout. Like fucking like hundreds and hundreds of versions of Breakout.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Like Doom mods, and I still played the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yes, Steam, I think single-handedly just brought it back to fucking insane. It's funny too because so many people complained about Steam when it came out.
I totally knew what
I was too.
Yeah,
but they totally knew what they were doing, and they did it so well, and like
they saw into the future.
I think I've compared Steam to the early days of Nintendo, and I think in a lot of ways it's true. And I think it's mostly because, like, they're developers and they're still so close to being developers. Like, they're still developers.
Oh, yeah.
They know how that shit works, and they're not afraid to, like, take risks and all that sort of stuff, too. So they're just pretty savvy with the current internet. Like, that people are really confused on what to do with, like, internet, piracy, PC games, and all this sort of shit. And it's like, what you do is what Steam's doing.
Yeah.
Like, you put your games out there, and shitloads of people buy them, right? And then when it dies off, and it's 6 months later or whatever else, and a game that's been pirated to shit is lowered down to like $3, and then a bazillion people buy it again.
Yeah.
And these are people probably that stole it either way. Like, these are people that pirated, and it's like, how can I not pass up, a legit copy where I can play with my friends and actually get achievements or whatever else with
It's such an
Steam.
impulse buy.
It's definitely an impulse buy. There's countless of games that I buy and think, okay, one of these days I'm gonna play this or whatever. And that's just what they're about. They know what they're doing. They do a lot of fun stuff too, and they still make games. So it's great. It's like when Nintendo was making awesome shit and had a platform out for everybody, and everybody's jumping on board and doing cool shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then they made a touchscreen that you bark into. I like the 3DS.
I do too. I love Ocarina of Time. I don't care for anything else though. I like Star Fox when it comes out.
Yeah, you will.
And Mario.
Yeah, the new Mario looks really cool. It looks like Mario 64.
But isn't that
3.
Isn't that it? Every single Nintendo system. I really am gonna enjoy Mario,
I know,
Zelda, and say, oh, I hope they make a Star Fox, or I hope they make an F-Zero.
They dug themselves a huge fucking hole. It's a huge hole to get out of. Like when you buy a Nintendo console, you're buying Nintendo.
Yeah.
Mm.
Remember the rumors that like Nintendo was gonna sell to Microsoft and there was gonna be a Mario on the Xbox? Remember that?
I remember that.
I worked at GameStop when that happened. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's not gonna happen.
The GameCube's doing so horribly.
They're just gonna sell out, man. This is a.
I'm gonna relate to everybody listening. And in retrospect, GameCube wasn't so bad, huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, it wasn't so bad, assholes.
Not so bad, huh? GameCube was fucking awesome in compared to the Wii. Like, Jesus Christ.
Mm. It was.
On the GameCube. Even badass launch games on the GameCube.
I know.
Rogue Squadron. Come on.
That was pretty fucking good.
Oh boy, Rogue Squadron.
Monkey Ball was good. The original
Monkey Ball was
great.
a lot of fun.
Mm.
Eternal Darkness.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Mm.
I enjoyed Luigi's Mansion.
It was alright. It had some things to it. You gonna get it for 3DS?
No, actually, I'm not. I have no interest in it anymore.
It was really good because that's the only game that you really could play and it launched.
And it had an inkling of Mario in it. Mario!
I like Mario Sunshine.
Yeah, Mario Sunshine was cool.
There's a lot there.
Wind Waker.
Of course, Wind Waker was great.
Until you had to collect the Triforce pieces.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it.
I hated that part.
I didn't do it. I stopped.
Yeah, so did I.
Mm.
I loved it up until that part. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I got to collect, 3 pieces? And then I collect one little piece, this little shred up in the upper left corner. I'm like, fuck this. I'm not going to do this shit.
It wasn't just that as well. You had to go and give that fairy person money, and then he'd tell you where the Triforce pieces were.
Yeah.
And then you had to go and get them. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
I think that was like artificial lengthening.
Mm.
I know.
Aside from that, the game was really.
That was a dick joke.
Yeah, that was a nice one. Aside from that, the game was great, and the fucking. Do you remember when people were like up in arms about, hey, I don't like it?
Yeah.
Ugh, that game looks better than the games now.
Yeah.
Like, that game is fucking amazing looking.
Let's see, how old was that? I was living in Arden. That was 2003 when Wind Waker came out. Yeah, and those graphics still hold up today.
That game looks amazing.
Yeah, that game looks awesome.
Like, the new Zelda looks like shit compared to that game.
Yeah.
It's fucking fact.
I'll agree with it. I'll allow it.
Put that down in some sort of fact thing.
Yeah, put it in Wikipedia page. Erase it. Erase all Nintendo's Wikipedia.
And that game
page.
had a fucking badass ending when you jump on top of his shoulders and you stab him in the face. What?
See, I didn't beat
He was a tiny little fucking guy. You know how little he was?
Shrimp.
Like a little peg-legged, little gimpy little dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jumps up on Ganon's shoulders and stabs him in the fucking face. right? And that was under the water, and like everything's cracking, and all the water's pouring down.
I've heard of this ending.
Because you know why? Because fucking the gods let Ganon take over, and he killed everybody in Hyrule. It was like the darkest Zelda too.
Didn't he flood Hyrule, and that's
They
why
They flooded Hyrule. The gods flooded Hyrule to stop him from like continuing.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, and the little town was really amazing too. It had all the little missions that you could do in that one little town where all the people were.
Yeah, that's right.
GameCube, bitches. What now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember video games? Remember those video games? Are we like old people now? Is this like...
I guess so. Because we're like, I hate the
like our kids today are like, these fucking old bitches.
Yeah.
I love my... What is that stupid game on Kinect? My fucking Raft.
Yeah, I love Kinect Adventures.
Oh, Kinect Adventures is
so
the best.
fucking fun. Oh, we'll get those coins next time.
Oh man, you're gonna buy the new Fruit Ninja? That's all I do is wave my hand.
Yeah.
Fucking retard. It's my video game. I love video games. And we're like, hey, Wind Waker. And they're like, fuck off.
Yeah, like, you're an old man, It's like it's exactly what's happening. It's exactly like in Back to the Future when he played what was it, Gunsmoke or whatever in the future, and they're like, "You mean you have to use your hands?"
Oh,
that's
yeah.
so big.
You know that I think that's what it is though. Like in marketing wise, everybody's like,
everybody's trying to get to Back to the Future.
yeah, everybody's trying
But
to
they're
reference
focusing on the wrong thing. We need flying fucking cars,
not hoverboards.
not Connect.
You know, that's the thing. Like,
You know, there was somebody out in California.
it's like
that had-
virtual reality. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, he had a hoverboard and fell off, and that's why they can't make them anymore.
I heard that he pop rocks and coke.
Yeah.
And that caused him to fall off because his intestines
Yeah,
exploded.
because they exploded. Yeah.
That was the kid from the Mikey commercials.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And the hook was on the car.
Oh God.
Anyway, yeah.
Guys, what do you think is the number one reason that people pirate games?
Laziness.
Convenience.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
It's actually so like. Okay, I'm gonna get real. Let's get real.
Okay, let's. You know, hey, I'm gonna turn my chair around.
Okay, turn your chair around. Get
I'm gonna sit in it like this, and I'm gonna rap to you.
I'll tell you my experience with piracy. As many of you know, I've been poor for an extremely long time. And of course I pirate things, mostly television and movies. I actually bought CDs, and the thing is like certain artists, I would always buy their CDs, or certain DVDs come out, I always buy the DVDs. I didn't pirate games, except for I think I had like an R4 at one point, but that was like, you can count that as development, right? Loophole.
Yeah.
Loophole.
That's a development.
I was developing something 5 years ago. Anyway, so certain games, you know, only those like ROMs and stuff like that, like MAME and NES games and Super Nintendo games and that sort of stuff. But the reason was because I remember trying to pirate games on PC and getting viruses, and it was a pain in the fucking ass. So really for me it was just like, it wasn't convenient enough. I couldn't afford it really either way. I could save up for it, but the thing is I would only really save up for ones that I really, really wanted, or I knew I really liked already. And I think that's kind of the consensus of how it works with piracy. Like, it has to do with convenience, it has to do with respect, and it has to do with wanting to demo something before you buy it. Mm-hmm. And it's just it's an awkward thing to talk about because this is how it is now. Like, people don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to make money off of when people are stealing, you know, quotes, stealing video games or music or whatever else. But there's, of course, ways around this. Like, music-wise, Radiohead and Nine Inch Nails obviously found major ways around it. Like, you can tap into this, you know, demographic of people who are internet savvy or whatever, who are pirating games. And you could get their respect and appreciation for you doing what you're doing, and if the price is low enough and they like you enough, they will buy your game regardless. Like, we get countless fucking emails from people saying, I feel guilty and I just want to get this off my chest. Mm-hmm. I stole your game, but I bought it on Steam.
Yeah, I bought it during the Steam sale.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, fine. You know, I understand. I'm not a fucking hypocrite. Mm-hmm. Like, and anybody out there, like, I'm gonna I'm gonna put this in my fact book, okay?
All
Put
right.
this in the fucking fact book. Anybody out there who says that they have a problem with piracy and all this other bullshit, they're fucking hypocrites. They fucking pirated many things because all those people are internet savvy, and you know that they're doing it, and you know they've done it at some point.
At least at some point.
They just have some excuse, like there's some loophole there. It's like, well, I owned it.
Or they take it like personally. You know, they'll go and they'll pirate 3D Max, but then when they build their own game, they think people are like stealing.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing. Okay, so Tommy and I, of course, own our copies of Flash and Photoshop and whatever else because we can afford them.
Studio and
all that stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff that we use, we own. But when I was fucking 20 years old, and I worked at GameStop, and I really wanted to create Flash games, I pirated Flash. Like that's just the fucking reality.
Yeah.
Like, how is a kid supposed to do it? And the thing is I think they know, and they're like, I think there's like this unspoken understanding. I think with especially like software, where they understand like that there's going to be a shitload of creative kids out there who aren't going to be able to afford what they have to offer. Like, how am I supposed to afford something that's like $700?
Yeah, when you're 20 years old.
Like, this is retarded. Like, but I needed it. And the thing was, is I took a couple classes in college, and one of the classes was in Flash. And guess where I got my copy of Flash? From my teacher.
Yeah.
A pirated copy of Flash from my fucking teacher. That's just like, how else are we going to get this shit done? You got to get it done. And I'd like to think that in some way I've given enough back to Adobe by making stuff that other people would appreciate and then get the word out around about Flash.
Yeah.
Like, I think it just kind of goes around, and it's just not like people treat it like you're fucking walking into a store and stealing.
Yeah.
When it's not, because you have an infinite number of copies of something. It's not, nothing is removed. You're not taking anything. It's just, I don't know. It's an odd thing to talk about, and it's surprisingly taboo. And I feel like I'm bad. Like I'm a bad person because I'm talking about fucking piracy in a way that's like realistic. Like it's just, you can't expect everybody in the fucking world to be able to afford this sort of stuff, and you can't expect everybody in the world to be honest and respectful. So it's just not.
It's also an
realistic.
It's an ease of availability kind of thing. Like we're watching Celebrity Rehab today.
Exactly. Oh yes.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
Celebrity Rehab today, and we wanted to watch episode 1 of whatever season this is, and they only had the highlights up on VH1's site.
Yeah, they only put the current episode. So episode 4 is the only one that had the full episode. We're like, we would have gladly watched all the
your
commercials,
stupid fucking ads,
the
for
repeated
water
commercials,
filters and M&Ms and Verizon Wireless 4G.
But no. So what is our only other option?
Fucking,
I don't have cable, okay? Yeah. And I'm not going to buy cable.
Yeah.
That's just not something I'm going to do. I'm going to watch fucking Hulu and Netflix and whatever else. And, VH1 is offering me this. Yeah. But they're not offering me, like, it's just like, they're kind of putting themselves in a situation where, how can I get this? I can't, so I'm going to have to pirate it. Yeah. I would have gladly given you revenue by watching your ads completely, whatever. Make it easy for me, please.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I own The Big Lebowski on DVD. I have watched it on Netflix more times than I've watched it on DVD because it's just easier. I would never pirate another movie again if Netflix would charge me $30 a month to stream any movie that's out on DVD right now.
And that's the thing, we're getting there.
Like, we're totally getting there.
We're getting there. Like,
but like, seriously, who downloads Family Guy anymore? Nobody. You just go on Hulu and watch it.
Exactly.
There's no reason to. You get it the next day. You still watch all their stupid fucking ads. The ads are still as effective because I've never bought anything off Hulu ads, but it's easier. You want to watch The Simpsons? I doubt you can find a torrent that's seeded heavily for The Simpsons.
I always know like if I want to watch a show and I feel like it's mildly popular, with Maury being the exception here. Yeah. Maury. Okay. And I go on and I'm looking for something and there's no seeds for it. I assume it's on Hulu or Netflix.
Yeah, and most of the time it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
except for fucking Maury.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't do Maury. Maury.
If Maury's listening,
Maury,
please put out DVDs of your shit because I'll buy it.
Yeah,
I'll gladly pay.
I'll
gladly pay, but I don't know why I can only find half of a season on Hulu.
Maury, just stream them off your site and throw ads all over that shit. You'll make bank.
Do it, Maury. I mean Murray.
Murray. Mopo Productions.
All right, I wanted to ask you guys about about when you came on stage behind Andy Schatz at IGF, because I was talking to Simon Carlos about this, and he said that it just was not planned at all, and he saw you guys backstage and was a bit like, "Oh, crap, what are these guys going to do now?" So
No, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, it's totally true.
There's some more. There's a whole lead into this too.
Yeah.
Well, because as you know, GDC was really stressful for us the year before, and a lot of the stress does come for the whole we were nominated for 3 awards, maybe 4, 3 awards.
Yeah.
And we of course lost them all, but we
all.
didn't know we were going to lose them all, and it was extremely stressful.
We thought we were going to win them.
Yeah.
We thought we were going to win
at least one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were actually kind of told that we were.
Yeah.
The Vision Award, we were kind of told that was going to be ours, and then the guy afterwards "Hey man,
sorry, bro.
Politics, bro." We're like, "Oh fuck, well, thanks."
Yeah. Thanks for that.
But anyway, yeah, he's stressed out about that sort of stuff, and it's for Tommy, it's extra horrible because his blood sugar goes crazy.
Yeah, it goes nuts.
And this year we were nominated for 3 more awards, but we were nominated in.
Was it 2 or 3?
I thought it was 3.
Whatever it was.
Either way, we knew Minecraft was going to win because it's Minecraft.
It's fucking Minecraft.
So we were pretty,
Well, you were relaxed this year.
But
we still wanted to know.
We still wanted to know. So what we did, and there's going to be so much.
Oh yeah, there's going to be so much more security this year.
What we did is we simply walked back behind everything, and we looked at the trophies.
A woman in a headset came up to us. And I quickly said, "Oh, we're with Andy Schatz. We're going to help present this Seamus Award." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And that was it. And then we went
No. She said, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, the green room's over here."
Yeah, she pointed us right.
So we're like, "Oh, okay." So they walk us over to the green room, and Brandon Boyer's there.
Yeah, Brandon Boyer was there.
And we were just watching. We're watching the teleprompter, and I think I went and got Danielle. We're all sitting back there watching.
Yeah, we were just chilling.
And I think I jokingly said we should totally crash.
Yeah,
Andy's Seamus McNally and be out there, and then Brandon's like, "Dude, you have to do it."
Yeah.
We're like, seriously? He's like, "You gotta."
Yeah.
So we did.
The end.
And that was it. But to set the record straight, we didn't know that Andy had anything prepared for a speech, and I didn't even know he was speaking. When I was out there, I was so lost on what was going on. I didn't.
Yeah,
know. I thought he was just going out and saying, Seamus McNally grand prize is.
Just the marketing speak that they say about it, and then the nominees are, and then I didn't know he had some heartfelt speech that he worked on.
I felt horrible. I felt a little bad after that, but yeah, no, we just kind of walked on.
Yeah,
they were really confused. It's funny, if you just act like you're supposed to be there, people will assume that you are because they don't want to feel stupid.
It's this, nobody wants to feel stupid, and it's this thing I've had all of my life, and we found it out when we did the pictures in the Sears Portrait Studio. If you are confident in what you're doing and you look like you are supposed to be somewhere, 9 times out of 10 people will not question you beyond just your presence. Because they'll just think you're supposed to be there. We went back and looked at every single trophy. We knew every single winner.
Yeah.
But nobody said a word because we did it without looking suspicious. We did it as if we were supposed to do it. And in the grand scheme of the universe, we were supposed to do it.
Yes, and that was the way it was supposed to be.
And God smiled on us that day.
Yeah, but that's essentially what happened.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It was nice to be on stage. I think it was a great way to conclude, close the book on that because we didn't get on stage the first time, and
I'll never get on stage. So
yeah, we're not. It's options aren't there anymore. So yeah, we got on stage. It was a nice ending.
It was good.
Okay.
Do you guys have any advice for developers who are struggling to get their games on Steam?
Yeah. Sometimes Steam. Okay, a good example of how hard it sometimes is to get on Steam. I know a very prominent developer, I won't name names, who had a really hard time getting Steam's attention, and then ended up being a really good seller on Steam. It was it just was persistence, essentially, and kind of putting it all out there and getting more attention from the press and whatever else. So if you can just get a lot of attention, get people to care about your game, try to do interviews, show what your game's about, or even release it. Terry released his game and didn't put it on Steam for months.
Mm-hmm.
And he even charged $15 for it originally, and then he put it on Steam for $5. And it's just put your game out there. And if they keep saying no, then just release it. And then if it does really well, then just say, hey, look, Steam, look, it's doing really well. I need a platform for it. I think Steam is getting more accepting of indie games because they really, they're doing really well with indie games. Indie games are doing really, really fantastic on Steam. There's been a big abundance of it recently. But, just persistence. Do make the best game you can and talk about your game.
Yeah, and also when you're talking to Steam, listen to them when it comes to price.
Exactly, that's
because
important
they
too.
really know what they're talking about. And if you argue back and forth with them, then they're going to go, well, our 23 million users say this, and you say this, so never mind, is what they're going to say. So yeah, just use them as a resource and listen and talk to them.
But don't give up. That's like a big thing too. Like when we were on the secret list of indie,
the secret list.
We'll call it the indie secret list.
Indie secret list.
We heard a lot of people chiming in and saying, I emailed Steam and they didn't get back to me, or they said no, and then they just fucking give up. Like, if we gave up, we wouldn't be on anything. Like, we had to fucking fight to get on Xbox. Fucking fight. Like, this major fucking convincing. And also, we had somebody that we convinced to campaign for us, basically, and push us through. Like, they didn't want us. And, you have to fight for these things. Like, you're already halfway there. You believe in what you're working on, and you love what you're doing. So fight for it. Go the extra mile, and I think you'll do just fine.
Mm-hmm.
At least there's a bit of luck involved, I'm sure, but I think persistence really matters.
Mm-hmm.
Persistence and drive are...
Squeaky wheel gets the grease.
I would say persistence and drive are the two most crucial things about being a successful indie developer.
Yes.
You need to be driven and you need to be persistent.
Yes.
Right, we've got Twitter questions in.
Nice.
There's quite a few of them, and some of them are a bit strange, and some of them are a bit normal. It's kind of dicks.
Because dicks are high calorie.
Yeah, and some of them were just repeats of last time.
God.
I've had to kind of remove those ones. So let's start with an okay one. Need Your Disease asks, with the success of Super Meat Boy, are you guys looking forward to making big, ambitious games, or would you prefer making something smaller than Super Meat Boy?
I thought Meat Boy was a big, ambitious game.
Yeah.
I think the next game we make will be more ambitious than Meat Boy in some ways.
Yeah, in some ways, yeah, definitely.
But we're never going to... I don't think we're ever going to do something so big that it will require more people.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I don't foresee that happening.
No, and neither of us want to be responsible for paychecks of the lives of other people, and I don't have kids for a reason.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not. It's just not going to work for me. And we're never going to expand like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think our games are always going to be. I mean, if you think Meat Boy is small, then our games are always going to be small.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Mazot wants to know what color underwear were you wearing on the release date of Super Meat Boy?
I'm going to guess I'm wearing a black T-shirt.
Yeah, I know what I was wearing. I was wearing a white T-shirt because I was in the trailer saying, "What the fuck is this?" at the screen.
Yeah, I'm sure I was wearing a black T-shirt and pajama pants.
As far as underwear, I was probably wearing the same underwear that I had been wearing for the last 2 weeks. I'm going to go with that.
Okay.
Lie detector determined you're telling the truth.
The next question's a little confused. KGS Rocks asks, why is Super Meat Boy a piece of meat? And I guess asking, how is he alive?
He's alive because fuck you.
This is a video game.
Yeah, this is a video game.
This
isn't real. This isn't happening over in Wisconsin. There's a boy without skin trying to save his girlfriend who's wrapped in bandages from a fetus. That's not real.
This isn't real.
How does Cloud carry around that big sword?
Yeah.
in Final Fantasy. That's
He's
a
way
fucking
too
huge
fucking
sword.
If he's that strong, why didn't he just throw rocks at people? Really big rocks.
Yeah, really. Yeah, seriously, that would be the easiest thing.
Or just go up and like you could probably he could just crush all the bones in anybody's body.
Yeah.
Like like bear hug.
Yeah.
If you can swing that fucking thing, you should be able to.
Yeah, he should be able to just punch through something.
It does have the air holes in it though. It's probably
speed holes. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the question: why does Jason keep coming back from the dead?
That's a question.
For the same reason, Meat Boy.
How come Chun-Li can move her legs so quick?
Yeah. How come she learned how to fucking throw a fireball?
Yeah. How does Ken and Ryu throw fireballs? I set my hands on fire once.
Blue flame?
Yeah, it was blue flame.
Nice. You know, I just realized recently, I think within the last year, that the fireball that Ken and Ryu shoot is actually their hands.
Oh yeah, it has their hands inside of it.
I didn't know that. I always thought it was some weird symbol.
No,
but it's totally their hands.
Yeah,
that makes it even weirder.
That is weird.
Good question.
Forda asks, how does chaos influences your imagination?
It's a weird question.
This is weird.
It doesn't really. Like when things get really chaotic, I don't know if it really.
Are they talking about chaos as in random shit? Or chaos as in we're all gonna fucking die chaos?
I guess he's probably talking about like
random. Well, I guess random occurrences through life is exactly what builds your personality. So I would say that it affects everybody's imagination. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't fully understand the
question. What is that, a philosophy major?
Flashpunk asks a pretty serious question. He asks, is Super Meat Boy representative of either of your genitalias?
Like short and red?
Mine's constantly bleeding. That's the answer.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
This is a question for Tommy.
Oh.
Yeah. So Danny B wants to know what it was like growing up in your native land of Suckballsistan.
Suckballsistan.
In my native land of Suckballsistan. It was tough. We had to suck balls to stay alive.
Yeah.
I still suck balls to this day, even though I don't have to.
You still cough up hairballs.
Yeah.
To this day.
Thank you, Danny B. I appreciate your time.
Sonic Blastoise asks, why all the violence? I don't know what violence he's referring to. I guess,
violence.
You know, I don't know, saws?
Because it's so goddamn fun.
Yeah.
That's actually a quote from Quentin Tarantino when they asked him why the violence.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because
it's so goddamn fun.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick with that.
Okay.
Why not?
Lock it in.
Holly Bucket wants to know, how do your girlfriends or wives cope with your game development projects?
You go first.
Okay. It's hard. Definitely. Meat Boy was very hard. I can get her in here probably. She probably can tell you. Nope.
Napping.
She's napping.
Oh.
Which is key when you're a girlfriend or wife of a developer. Napping.
Napping.
No, it's very hard. There were a lot of promises, and like one of the promises, like a cat. I promised that I would buy her a hairless cat after Meat Boy development, because it's trying. I mean, not even boyfriend girlfriend relationships, but overall, like development can get hard on anybody's social life. So yeah, hopefully you just need somebody who completely understands what you're doing, so they can fully understand what you're going through and why they're kind of sacrificing for the outcome. Understand that this is what you do, why you do it, and hopefully they can appreciate it enough to understand that this isn't fun and games. Like, it's taken till now for my mom to understand that she doesn't need to keep sending me snippets of the newspaper where they're offering, jobs at GameStop or something like that. Like, it's hard for people to understand, that this is, my career or anybody else's career. Like, a lot of people view game development as playing video games. So it's hard, for sure. But you just need to find somebody who's understanding. Go, Tommy!
I wouldn't know. I didn't get that far. I got one day into the development of our next game, and that day was not fun. And then a couple weeks later, we broke up. So I imagine it's quite hard.
Excellent. Innuendo Studios asks, do you think that you will be further antagonizing Andy Schatz at any point?
I think we're done.
We're done. We're done. I mean, unless he makes like some other goofy video and I can't help myself.
Yeah. I mean, it's honestly the ball's in Andy's court. If he behaves, finishes Monaco, stops making videos where he's walking from the store, pointing the camera at him, talking about design, then we're good.
Okay.
We'll see.
If he starts that, though, probably going to be some parody videos of that.
Depends on how bored we get.
Yeah, it really, depends on what we're doing. That's probably the best answer. Depends on how bored we get.
Yeah, if there's a lull in development, then
Well, if there's a couple,
Then people are like, 5 years from now, it's like, we're referencing Andy Schatz and like...
Mm-hmm.
People think that Andy Schatz is like an inside joke. He doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't exist anymore.
He's a character in a game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had Tom Sennett on last week.
Yeah.
And he basically said, because he did like his own little commercial for a game he just released called Deepak Fights Robots, where he was dressed up as a robot and he was chasing someone around a park.
Nice.
And he basically said that at next GDC he wants to have some kind of like indie fighting thing where he dresses up as a robot and other people dress up as their characters and fight him. So yeah, we were wondering if you guys would be up for dressing up in some kind of Super Meat Boy themed costumes, or maybe whatever you're working on at the time. And
I'll tell you.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
I'm gonna come dressed as the enemy of the next game.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna. Yeah. Or I'll dress up in a Meat Boy shirt and just kick his ass.
Not many people know this, but Tommy is like actually. You could probably go to jail if you fought somebody.
I could actually. I am registered.
Yep. He could fucking rape you hard.
Yeah. That's why I'd go to jail. Has nothing to do with martial arts.
There's a warrant out.
Yeah. Just rape people. It's awful.
That's bad.
I don't know why I do it.
Pants for that. You just
No,
just the shirt.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I
Yeah,
just wear a Meat Boy shirt, no pants.
Easy.
I'll rape the shit out of him. I'll rape him until the room stinks. Wow.
Yeah, so this guy called Mr. Buttocks asks, do you guys have like pet names for each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call Tommy Mommy. And this is not a lie.
Yeah.
It's frequent.
Yeah.
I call Tommy Mommy. I call him Timmy.
Timmy, yeah.
What else?
I don't really have pet names for you.
You call me Ed.
Yeah.
That's about it. Very original. I can see who fucking loves who more.
I can't come up with pet names. See, I don't have anybody to come up with pet names with. I can't bounce them off my cat.
Speaking of which, we named our cat after Tommy.
Yeah.
The cat's name is Tammy.
Tammy.
Oh, cool.
Which is another name we called you before the cat existed.
Tammy was my name before Tammy came along.
Yeah, we never call you Tom, though. That's your dad's name.
Yeah, don't call me Tom.
Yeah.
And also Mr. Buttocks asks, what is the biggest disagreement or argument that you guys had during development of Super Meat Boy?
Where to put it?
Who was the top? Who was the bottom?
Yeah.
It's still mysterious and
Yeah.
still up in the air. We never fought about anything.
Yeah, we didn't fight about anything.
Do we have any like?
No.
There was one time where there was only the one time I was frustrated with him was when, and it turned out to be something fucked up. He was at Tig Jam, and I was making levels, and I just made a warp zone, and I sent it to him, and he kept telling me it was too fucking hard. It's too fucking hard.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, what the fuck are you talking about? It's not hard at all. Like, this is an easy level. And he's like, no, I keep fucking dying. And he was really mad. And, like, I said, I'll send you a fucking video. And I sent him a video of me playing it, and he was like, what the fuck? And it turned out that the game was being played so much then that the controller was broken.
Yeah, there was a TIG jam when the controller broke.
So the controller was broken, and that's why the level was so hard. But that was the closest that we came to
all out
to
fist fight.
yeah.
It's over. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to back in my brain of like, that's the thing. Like one of the reasons why Tommy and I get along really well. I mean, we get along really well in real life, so it works really easy when you're working. But other people that I've worked with in the past, sometimes you step on toes, and it's kind of awkward. And like people I worked with in the past, usually you have a role, and like my usual role is design and art, and of course Tommy designs as well. But it's not like it's like. Put something, I don't know, it's a technical design, and there's no toes, like there's no toes that are stepped on here.
There's no stepping on, because we're both good at the things that we're good at, and we both know the things that we're good at, and we're happy with the things that we're good at. So we don't try to be something that we're not. I am not an excellent game designer, so I'm not trying to go, well, no, Meat Boy should be able, blah, blah, blah. I'm not doing anything like that. And just the same as Ed's not going, well, it would be easier if the code was blah, blah, blah. It's just not there. Mm. There's no real overlap.
But no, it's definitely something I think people will run into, though. It's hard to come to this like dynamic, I guess, because it's been major. I've had major problems in past development relationships with this sort of thing, where like they don't like the way something looks, and I feel like, what are you fucking talking about? You're not an artist, like or they don't like the way something is designed, or they want to write, or they want to be a musician, or so on and so forth.
Yeah,
this could all be one person. No, multiple people that I've worked with, it's been like this. It's hard to kind of balance that sort of stuff, but I think if everybody knows, just adheres to what they are really good at and
play to your strengths.
Yeah. But like with that said too, it's like it's not that Tommy wasn't critical. Like when I would make a level, if he didn't like some aspect of it, I desperately need critical feedback. Mm-hmm. Like that's the thing I've learned over the years. It's really hard to start out getting critical feedback. It's hard to not have this knee-jerk reaction to say "fuck off," like. You don't know what you're talking about, but to be able to take critical feedback and be like, okay, I think I understand what you're talking about. Like, but with Tommy, it was just like he would tell me, oh, this feels weird. Like this part feels weird. Mm. So I would understand that he had a different perspective than me, and he's playing differently than me.
I guess it was the way it was presented too.
Yeah.
The way you present feedback to somebody has a lot to do with how they take it. You don't go, they're stupid.
Yeah.
This feels dumb fuck.
Levels are boring.
These levels are boring, stupid. Yeah, that's bad.
I don't fucking like them levels.
I don't fucking like.
But yeah, no. Yeah, no. It's kind of weird though. Like thinking about it now, it's kind of odd. Like we never run into those kind of problems, and I guess it is just kind of like a just mutual respect. I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, okay, we finished the Twitter questions, so just before we kind of wrap up, we should probably ask you when do you reckon you're going to be announcing the next game, and what do you think kind of time frame wise things are going to happen with that?
We're trying to be careful because this is one of the things that we learned with Meat Boy, and it's some of the stuff that you could actually see on your blog, like. When we were 8 months into the development of Super Meat Boy, people were already saying, wow, hasn't this game been in development for 3 years? Is it ever coming out? There's this weird, I don't know what the fuck it is. It's like they
it's a short attention span. And and a lot of people, they hear about something and then they don't hear about it for 2 months. And they're like, oh, that was last year.
Yeah.
It's no, it wasn't. It was 2 months ago. But, There's the internet has created an entire like society of instant gratification. So when you see something, you're able to get it. You know, you order something off Amazon, you're able to get it the next day. You know, and when you announce something 18 months before it's supposed to come out, that's forever in internet terms. You know, 18 months is ridiculous.
So with that, I think we both know that until we have something we want to show, I don't think we will. Excuse me. I don't think we want to start talking about exactly what the next game is, just in case we want to change. You know, just in case for some reason we get inspired by something else and decide to do a different game or a littler game or, you know, a different take on what we're doing. I don't know. Like, we just want to keep that open. So we don't want to announce anything until we're much further in development. And I assume the game will probably take the same amount of time. Maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little less. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it
really depends on how ambitious we get. Like once we get into the mix, we thought Meat Boy was going to take a year, and it took another half year plus after that.
Yeah,
but that was because was because it ballooned. Like,
and it felt right to add more shit to it.
Yeah, we'll throw ourselves in, and we'll see where we come out. And we'll probably have a general idea, when we start announcing of how long we think it'll take, but probably will take longer.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, yes, we've finished all of the questions, so thanks for talking to us, basically. Again.
Thanks for having us back.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's fun to be able to do this with both of us here.
Yeah.
Because then we could draw pictures of dicks.
Yeah, in invisible ink.
Yeah.
To each other with black light.
Yeah. Well, I think that I can speak for Tim as well when we say that we're pretty much way looking forward to the next game. I'm actually, I think out of like most developers, I'm kind of most excited about this because I know that you guys could just make something completely fucking off the wall. So, and that's what I like. So
it'll probably be weird.
Yeah. It's probably.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, well, looking forward to that. Yeah, so thanks to you guys, thanks to anybody who's been listening, and thanks to everybody who asked all of those really good Twitter questions. And we'll probably be back again next week. See you around, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.